The key number one thing you need to be successful in your business is the mentality that you become unbreakable and nothing can stop you. Because the reality when you actually look to growing a business is you're going to go from having a crisis to emergency at any given time. There's always going to be a problem. And I'd probably say every 6 months there's some type of big problem I have to deal with in my business. And from each time from that, you learn and you become more resilient. And this is where a lot of the problems you have right now that you think are big problems, in 2-3 years time, you won't think are an issue. And even if you look back over the last 2-3 years, you look back at things that probably really stressed you out at the time, but you look back now and like, that wasn't really a big issue. And a way I would frame thinking about this is, would this problem matter in 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years? If it's not going to matter in 5 years, it's probably not that big a deal. What I wanted you to focus on today is the 10 big things you need to build an unbreakable mindset. And the first one, don't fear hard things. The expression pressure makes diamonds is one of the most true things you can ever think of. Like, you've got this, you just need to keep pushing. And the harder something is, the less people are willing to do it. And that means when you get through that thing, it means it's actually going to allow you to have more success because it's a higher barrier to entry. And one thing I'd actually suggest you do every single day is you do something physically hard as well, because this will reframe what mentally hard is and what physically hard is. So if you're doing like high intensity HIIT workouts, like rowing machines, assault bikes, boxing, all this type of stuff is phenomenally good if you're an entrepreneur, because it will help you to actually increase your stress resilience of what you can do. Number 2 is don't worry about things you can't control. Now, this is why I think getting in shape is so easy. You control what you eat, you control what you train, you control your sleep, you control everything. In business, there's a huge amount of external environment factors that affect you. You can't control the economy, you can't control the Instagram algorithm, you can't control a lot of different things that can happen. Now, the reality is what you can control is yourself. So don't worry about things you can't control that are out of your control, because I see so many people paranoid about that constantly. But one of the things I would do is this. You should do this at least every quarter. It's called a SWOT analysis. And that's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And you look across your business. And the threat section, we're looking to essentially try and find things that we can protect against the downside for. So threats, for example, would be your Instagram account getting shut down. Okay, cool. I have 2-3 accounts and I can reach out to Charlie. He's got a contact to get my account back. Stripe account, payment process is getting shut down. Big problem. Like, having multiple payment processors set up is a very smart thing to do. I probably have 7-8 Stripe accounts. I have multiple different payment processors. You should also have PayPal. These are important things. Now, this is how you protect yourself to the downside. And if something does go wrong, you've got a backup option. Hopefully you never need it. Number 3 is don't shy away from responsibility. The price of greatness is responsibility. And this is something you have to understand. The bigger the business becomes, the more successful you become, the more clients you have, the more team members you have, the more people you are responsible for. And this is where you need to grow as a leader and increase your stress resilience. Number 4 is don't fear being alone. Solitude is a superpower. One of the very small facts that a lot of people don't actually know about me is I'm actually very introverted. Like, I was very, very shy when I was younger. When I first started as a personal trainer in 2008 at the original Pure Gym in Guildford, one of the reasons I really struggled is I was very shy. I didn't like talking to strangers, I lacked confidence, and I really, really found it difficult to engage with people I didn't know. Now, the reality is, like, 15 years later, I have an introvert who's learnt to be extroverted. But actually, one of my favorite things is just being on my own and being in my own space. And this is where you're truly comfortable with yourself. You need to understand that periods of isolation actually allow you to excel. These allow you to tame your thoughts, control your emotions, and become comfortable with silence. Number 5 is don't worry about what people think of you. I couldn't give a flying fuck what anyone thinks about me. The amount of bullshit that I get online sometimes, of people commenting on my ads, competitors trying to slate me, whatever, is stay true to your value of who you are. I don't care what anyone thinks of me, because I've been documenting what I've done over the last 6-7 years online, and anyone can go back through my fitness YouTube channel, my Instagram accounts. You can see since like 2016, 2017, exactly what I've done. You can keep scrolling back. And I suggest go and have a look, because it's quite interesting how things have progressed. But this is the reality. You have to be in a position where you don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about you. And when I first started my fitness business, I first started posting on social media, one of the big things that nearly stopped me doing all of this was this. Because I remember the gym I was in, I remember posting like topless selfies and stuff on Instagram at the time. Worked phenomenally well back then. And people were literally behind my back being like, why is Charlie doing this? Who does he think he is? Who the fuck is this kid? Like all this type of stuff. And the same thing actually happened to me in Ireland, I think maybe 2019. I used to run a transformation program called Shred 8. It was like the biggest 8-week transformation program pretty much in the world at that time. And I flew to Dublin, Ireland to go and train with a client called Adi O'Gara. And the irony is this, that there was a guy who came up to me. It's like, literally, who the fuck do you guys think you are filming in the gym? And it's those type of things I look back on, and at first I think, fucking degenerate. But if I'd actually listened to those type of people and let them put me off, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in now. I wouldn't have helped all the people I've helped. And this is a huge thing you have to understand, is that often actually even people who like try and hold you back are often the people who are closest to you. Often it's your parents, it might be your partner, it's often your close friends. People don't like it when you change because you're leveling up and you're making them look bad. And this is something I think about a lot, is that people don't like to be in the shadow of the mountain. So if you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and achieving more success, they don't want to be in your shadow because it's going to make them feel inferior about themselves. Number 6 is don't stress about the past. Now, the most important thing is being here and now and actually controlling your emotions and embracing each moment. The second thing is like careful mindfulness of that and being aware of how you feel. So like, how does your body feel? Do you feel tired? Do you feel energetic? How does your mind feel? If you feel like cluttered in your brain, one of the best things to do is brain dump. Write everything down, even if it's notes in your phone or on your laptop, because your brain is not designed as a storage device. You're not supposed to keep all this stuff in there. So if you feel overwhelmed, write everything down. And if you feel like you're getting underwater, get a bigger snorkel. You just need to plan things out and get control of things, which you have the capability of doing. And this is how you can shape your own destiny, because you can plan what's going forwards, but you can't plan what's happened in the past. Number 7 is don't give up too early. The number one thing I see happen over and over and over again is people give up too early. And if I give an example, like a lot of the ads that we run, for example, for 7-figure scaling systems, they were not profitable at the beginning. I burnt through money testing things, trying things. I'm actually doing the same thing on YouTube ads at the moment, but I know I will get them working because I'm refining the process and I'm actually getting the right advice to try and adjust things where I'm going. And this is where you have to not be afraid to learn to experiment, try new pricing models, try new acquisition strategies, test new types of content. I post a lot of content that bombs and it doesn't work. I post some stuff that then crushes and like, cool, this works, let's do more of this. And this is where one of the biggest superpowers you need is actually the ability of pattern recognition, but also not being afraid of trying something and it not working. Number 8 is don't feel sorry for yourself. Embrace the suck. Things are going to go wrong, and the most important thing you can do is actually just look forward and not back and understand that this is just a lesson you need to learn. Like if something's gone wrong, what's the thing you can learn from this thing so this doesn't happen again? And don't have the habit of self-pity, which is when you're in the spiral of decline that I see a lot of people get into if their business numbers start to go down. And this is why the most important thing in terms of having a guide, like a mentor or a mentorship, is to have someone to push you, to keep you accountable, to keep you inspired, and to give you momentum. Number 9 is don't resent other people's success. So in 7-figure scaling systems, we have a competitive environment of people who want to absolutely crush it, make money online, grow their fitness businesses, and be phenomenally successful. And some people don't like that. They don't like the amount of client wins we share. We don't like sharing the amount of money people make. But this isn't a zero-sum game. Like the reality is you want to think about, we live in a positive sum world. We celebrate other people's successes and use that as inspiration. Because if you see someone else who's crushing it, who has done phenomenally well, guess what? That means you can too. I've sold over hundreds of thousands per month in fitness for years. So does that mean you can do it? Yeah. I have clients currently doing over £300,000 a month in fitness who are based in the UK. That's per month. Do you think you can make 10K a month? Do you think you can make 50K a month? We have hundreds of clients doing it. So the reality is you can do it, and the only reason you can't is you're telling yourself a lie. And number 10, the most important thing to keep your mindset screwed on is this very simple thing. Don't think life owes you anything. I heard something on the news the other day and I thought it was very interesting. I don't watch news, but I stay at my girlfriend's parents' place. And they said the word fair. The reality is this, the world isn't fair. We live on an economic planet which is incredibly competitive. Everything you want, someone else wants. Everything I have, someone else wants. So people are trying to come for my title, for the stuff I have. And this is where you have to have the constant drive to understand not getting complacent. You need to prove yourself every single day and don't let comfort conquer you. You need to keep pushing forwards and keep looking to progress and build a moat around yourself. And this is when you've got a stable business and a reputation and brand that can truly scale. Now, these are the 10 big points you need in terms of how to build a bulletproof mindset. The last bonus one I'm going to give you is if you struggle with mindset, get the 2 books, Winning and Relentless by Tim Grover. Read 10 pages every day when you're struggling. I have one huge ask on this. If you took value from this, make sure you share it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, because only 78% of people are. And we'll see you in the next episode very soon.